Hola y bienvenidos amigos. Hello and welcome friends. Steve here, Street Smart Travel. Tuesday, February 18th, 2025. Coming at you from another hot and sunny day here on the farm, just outside of Vilcabamba, Ecuador. Probably 27, 28 degrees. I'd like to ask all my Canadian friends, how you doing up there? I'm from Toronto, born and raised, and I've been watching the weather with great satisfaction, let's say. No snow down here, and it is hot, although it does rain for pretty much all night, every night. So that part I'm not crazy about, but I will take rain over snow every single time. So today's video is not just about gloating about the weather, it's also an update on my 2025 January monthly budget, which was about twice what I had planned for it to be, because I had plans to come to this farm and I didn't get a confirmation in time, so I had to make some other plans, which meant I was in Cuenca, so I was a little further up north for a week to take care of some residency issues, some legal stuff, and then I didn't have word in time when I was ready to leave Cuenca as to how to get here and what the dates were and that kind of thing. And this happens from time to time. It's just part of volunteering and part of living on the road, really. So I made other plans. I went to a city called Loja, which is about an hour north of here, maybe a little better than an hour. Not a huge city, a couple 100,000 people. Shot some videos there as well. I'm probably post some of that as eye candy. It's a pretty scenic city. Not as nice as Cuenca in some ways, but it's not without its charm, let's say. So, anyways, and I'll put in some eye candy at the end of this video. Probably some shots from here on the farm. We did a minga at, what was that? That was last Wednesday, I think. A minga is a community volunteer project. So we built a Temazcal, or a sweat lodge in English. There's going to be a ceremony this weekend, which if I take part of it, I will do an update on that. Done one of these before. It is not ayahuasca, but it's similar. And yeah, kind of looking forward to it, and based on my experiences on the last one, a little bit freaked out. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, back to the numbers. So for January 2025, no drum roll this time because I'm mobile. I'll round these up. I spent $340 US, or 467 Canadian dollars on the month. And broken down daily, that's a little over $11 US per day and a little over $15.50 Canadian dollars per day for the entire month. That's about double what I would normally spend, but again, I did 2 weeks. So I did 1 week in Cuenca, where I had to pay for accommodations and food and transportation and everything. And my plan was to come down to the farm here, and that, like I said, didn't happen. For reasons I will probably never know, but just whatever, it didn't happen. And that meant I needed to do another week, so that basically doubled what I would normally spend in a month. All that means is I'll spend the entire month of February here, and then I'm back to, they'll average out, and I'm back on track. And from here, I actually have an invite to go to another farm. This is a volunteer opportunity with a 501c3 based out of the US. So a charitable organization, and they have a bunch of projects, not just in Ecuador, but through Latin America, and it sounded pretty interesting. This one's a coffee farm, a little bit north of where I am right now. Sounded like a good fit. I still got time to kill because I'm waiting for my permanent residency papers to go through. That's my style and bachelor pad there in the background. The residency papers will go through at some time, and then I have to go back to Cuenca and apply for another cedula and identification card, and then I should be good to go for the next 3 years until this whole process is finally done. So those are the numbers for January. Once again, $340 US, or 467 Canadian dollars for the entire month. Food, transportation, accommodations, everything. And that was 2 weeks of accommodations, one in Cuenca, one in Loja. Again, not what my plan was, but if nothing else, when you're on the road, you got to learn to be flexible and resilient, because things rarely go the way you plan them, or certainly not on the timeline. Let me say that. Tiempo Latino is real. It is painful for Westerners. I am never going to get used to it. I've already resigned myself to that. I'm also never going to change it. So just got to suck it up and say this is just the reality of living in Latin America, and there you have it. So as you can see, not much of a sunny day. This is going to be rain probably within a couple hours and probably for the entire duration of the night. That is pretty impressive. We had a lot of rain last night and the river is like enormous. I'll see if I can get some shots of that and put them at the end of this video. So a shorter one today. Thanks for stopping by. If you made it this far, please drop a like. Please do share this with anybody you think may be interested. Every month I do a budget update just to let you know how much money I spent traveling that month. Just to show you it doesn't take a ton of money to be able to travel. Depending how you want to do it, you certainly could spend a ton of money, but if you want to get out and see the world and don't have an enormous budget and you're willing to volunteer a few hours a day, I mean, the food at this place is insane. I'm probably going to gain at least 10 pounds before I leave. It's like we used to say on the ships, right? Guests come on as passengers and they leave as luggage because they ate so much for the entire cruise. They put on, 10 pounds. I think I'm well on my way to that because, I mean, the food here is insane. It's absolutely nuts. So with that, I will say thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Stay tuned for the eye candy. Peace out. See you out on the road. Just in case you missed it the first time, this was today's main event, the wheelbarrow, a shed full of nitrogen fertilizer, 50 kilogram bags, which I schlepped in that wheelbarrow down to these two brothers so they could put it all over this sugarcane field. The young guy was 75, the older one was 80. Here's the beginnings of the frame for the Temazcal, the sweat lodge, all done by hand. You can see the symmetry here, all very simple, just wood and string. Another shot from the inside. These needed to be cut back. There's Victor. Those leaves are about 4 feet long and hard. And the worst part is the tip. Just the tip. These things, black, sharp, hard as steel. And finally, the finished product, the Temazcal, ready for the ceremony.